Today I'm going to start with an idea I have for making like a wheat, like field fairy witch kind of thing. We'll see how it develops. But I've just been looking through my colours. The whole inspiration is around this colour, which is wheat yellow, and this is the new British wool colours that I'm working with. I'm trying to make a project out of most of the ones that I've bought. I haven't bought them all, and I just went through my stash and picked out some colours that I thought would go potentially with it. So we'll just see. I've also got that one too, which is marmalade orange. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a female kind of witchy thing, and I'll just very quickly show you how I get started. So move these walls out of the way so we don't need them yet. What we need is pipe cleaners. Now, if I'm making, my vision for her is going to be, just make sure you can see where I am. So my vision for her is going to be like she's going to have quite a long skirt, so that will help her stand up. Now I'm using florist wire, but pipe cleaners will work, but I just feel like this has got a bit more strength. And what I tend to do, you can use, sorry, it's already pre-bent, I'm not sure why, you can use some tools if you need to, but we're just going to make a circle as best we can that's going to like form her skirt, if that makes sense. Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm just going to wrap that around there loosely. It would have been better if I'd gone and got more wire so I could do this better, but it's okay. So what we'll do is we'll use the pipe cleaner. It's always good to just use whatever you can when you don't have to buy more equipment. That's always a good thing. So I'm just going to wrap that around there to secure it so that it doesn't come off. That's not that easy. I do use a mixture of wire. You always have to be aware that if there's a pointy end, you know, somebody might, if they were to squeeze your item, they might hit it. So pipe cleaner's quite nice at just covering that. I'm not going to go all the way around because I need this wire. We're going to go up here. I'm going to just come in a bit so that this is going to be the body. Up here, the head. We'll put the arms in somewhere. What we'll do is just wrap that around loosely. Okay, hopefully she won't be too big. I tend to make things quite big. You can just maneuver that around and it will be covered, but that's going to give it a bit of base. You can see it's already standing up. Now, have I got some scissors on the table because I'd like to cut this? I do. So I'm going to cut this in half because that's going to be the arms. She may be holding something, so we'll keep that aside, but that's kind of going to be the head. I'm thinking roughly there. So if this is thin, you can go ahead with your main colour, or you can use some cool wool, which will help save money. In the long run, you won't use as much of your main colour. So I might I'd like to start with the arms, but I just want to show you how to get this bit covered, so we'll start with that. So I'm going to use some cool wool. And this one comes like this. I prefer it like on the roll rather than, you can buy it loose in chunks, but I find that much harder to work with. So I'm not even going to wrap this piece. I'm just going to start here and round here. Because I want the dress to come down, it's a good idea to like have a bit of a, we're going to imagine her arms around about there. So this is going to be the thinnest part, and it will get thicker as it goes down. The tighter you wrap, the less felting you'll have to do, but I'm not going to make her too stiff anyway. Let's just go down. So if you're like thinking, oh yeah, I'd like to have a go at a witch or a fairy, but I don't really know how to start, then this is kind of a good way. When you felt, it will shrink down, so you have to be aware you don't want this wire showing. So, you know, however big you make this round bit, that's kind of how big your figure's going to be. What you can do is you could have a cloak or something, or you could just make the bottom bit quite a bit bigger if you think, you know, like a ball gown or a flowing dress in the wind or something. I'm sort of thinking that late summer idea, and I am just checking that you can still see. Yeah, I am just going to start, put your finger guards on if you need to. I'm just going to start brushing this in a bit really. I'm working on the bottom a bit because I want to make sure that the wire is covered, and what I tend to do at the end as well, because I can't, it's going to take a while to get there, but I will make sure that the bottom bit is covered too, so you can kind of go round don't worry about that too much. Just try and get your shape. I would spend a bit of time getting your shape right here, because what we can do, and I'll show you quickly, oops, you can see how much coral this is used. If that was your main colour, that could be the bulk of it gone. I only bought 50 grams of these, which is a lot, but I like to do multiple projects. So what you can do is just pop a bit on the bottom and then literally spend a little bit of time going down. Be aware the wire is there, and by all means cover it with pipe cleaners if you feel you need to. But I don't know. I don't sell my items. I keep them for myself, which, as you can imagine, means we are overflowing with felt pieces on my journey, but that's okay. The reason I don't sell the things I make, there's several. One of them is because they take so long to make. I don't know if, you know, if I spend 22 hours making this, I don't think someone would want to pay me £10 an hour, do you? And that's not even minimum wage, is it? And that's not the cost of materials. But this is a relatively cheap hobby to have. So if you are looking at it going, oh, I don't know if I could do that, you definitely can do that. You get better with time, but even as a beginner, you can still produce really good pieces. So definitely do have a go. You literally need a needle, some wool. I always like to have pipe cleaners, and some sort of a mat. I like to use this one. It's like a bristly one. I don't like the feel, so I always have a tea towel on the top. So we're just going to go round and get this wool covered, so you can spend a bit of time doing that. And if you're focusing on just this bit, you'll get it nice and flat. I'm doing it at an angle, but you could do it that way, it's fine. But you're just going to keep moving it, and you'll get a nice flat base. And just under it, make sure she doesn't fall over. But ideally I would start from getting this bit right, because you don't know how thick you're going to make your base. So, and then when you're ready, you can cover with the colour you want. You could start with the colour you want, like I said, but it just uses a lot more wool. Just remember there's a needle there. So if we spent another, well, 20-30 minutes making this skirt right, you have to try and use your imagination. The next thing to do is to wrap this wire, attach it, then put a head, a bit of a neck, the hair. That's kind of how it goes. So rather than make this video really long, I will stop there, and I hope this has inspired you to have a go at making some sort of a witch or princess or fairy or something. Do take care, please do subscribe. It really helps me keep going, because I don't know what you want to see, but I like sharing the things I make. Thank you, bye.